we go. Working our way through it. Let's see if I can sit on this without breaking it. I am prying with this thing, which you should never really do with a knife because that's not what they're designed for. But I just want to get in here and see how much stuff I can do that you're not supposed to before the knife falls apart. And right now, I'm liking it. Who knew the made in China stuff would be alright? Airball on that one. Now, all fairness, this is a dry rotted tree, so it's definitely falling apart on its own, but this knife is taking a bending, a beating. It literally just twisted this tree off. Still in one piece.
One of my favorite things is when you're out and about, you know, doing your own thing, and you stumble across something that you didn't expect to find or you weren't directly searching for, and it just happens to be so great and you are just lucky to find it, or more or less this thing found you, and it just kind of falls into your lap. And that was kind of the case when I purchased, bam, this knife. I was in my local knife shop, and I happened to put hands on this thing after they had just gotten a shipment in, and I was pretty impressed. I wanted to check it out. I went and looked at the price tag, and after I saw that, it was a must buy on my end. So we'll just jump right in on it. This is a Real Steel Bushcraft II knife. That's the model. And once I got my hands on this thing, whew, it was over. It was a wrap. I had to get it. It was freaking sweet, especially for the price tag, which we will get into. Specs on this thing are somewhat misleading. It says it's a 4.1 or 4.2 inch blade, which is awesome. I absolutely love that. That's like the perfect length for a bushcrafting knife, in my opinion. The one misleading part I thought was the blade thickness. It says it's 3.5 millimeters, which, you know, we're not really used to that kind of measurement when describing the thickness of a knife. So I compared it to my Kabar BK16, and those things are super similar in size. So we're going to go ahead and say that this is probably closer to 3/8 of an inch thickness, which is awesome. I love it. It's really stout for what, you know, for what it is in comparison to a lot of other bushcraft knives. And this thing is just awesome. As you probably saw in the entrance video, I really beat the crap out of this thing, and I was doing a lot of prying and banging on it in general, and it was really holding up to the whole, you know, tasks I was putting it through. Now, this knife is made in China. It's imported from Boker, and they kind of also have a warranty on it, which we're going to get into. But they're the company, as far as what I've seen in my research, is that they're the one that's importing this knife. This is made by Real Steel. That's a company, which is a really dorky name, I might add. But Boker's the one importing them. So besides that fact, this thing is just, I can't believe the kind of material that they put in on this, to be honest. The steel itself is D2 tool steel, which is freaking sweet. Like, wow, that's like an upgrade, a slight upgrade on the typical 1095 that you might find in most bushcraft knives, a la the BK16 and also the Condor bushlore. So these are both in the 10 series of steels, and also competitors, I might add. This thing is just functional. Primarily, you're going to be using this for like a bushcrafting, backpacking, outdoors, camp knife kind of thing. I mean, you could use it technically in a lot of different facets, but I think that that's going to be the primary role for this thing. You're going to be using it as an outdoors knife. But daggone, look at these materials. I mean, seriously. These are smooth G10 handle scales with red liners, which I think are just absolutely sexy. It comes in a black version as well. The black comes with red liners too, and I just really didn't like the way that looked. It looked very just to me. I really was digging the Coyote, and it also comes with the Coyote Kydex sheath, which is also really high quality. I could not believe the price for these two things. So this Kydex sheath was, as you can hear, it's really high end. Like, it's nice. This is a good piece. This would go with, I think this is probably better than most of my other knives as far as Kydex. I mean, maybe not the White River backpacker. I really love that Kydex sheath. They did great with that. But it also comes with this belt loop, which is really cool and it's really unique. It's just like a tech lock in the sense that it has all these different holes where you can run the rivets and carry it scout style or carry it, you know, vertical, however you want to do it. And I just happen to have this one vertical just for testing purposes, but daggone, this is nice. They did awesome with this sheath, and it's the retention on it. No rattle, zero rattle with it. It is just snug as can be, and it's really, really nice. So we got into that. There's the D2 and the G10 scales. It's real smooth, but it's not slippery. That's not how I would describe it. And I just, wow with the materials, guys. Good job right off the bat. The jimping is really, really functional, not really aggressive. So most knives have a tendency to put over aggressive jimping or really non-useful jimping. This is kind of like a really happy medium, and I really like that. And check out this tip. That tip is just, you could really pry with this, and I think you would probably be okay. I mean, look at that. It looks stout, like it's not gonna bend or flex or break when you're out there prying and digging in a tree and stuff. Now, I gotta say, as far as the overall workmanship, because the knife did come from China, it's iffy. It's good. I still like the knife for the price I paid for it. I would definitely keep it. There's a couple little qualms I have with it, and I don't know if they're gonna show up on camera, but see, like right there in the center of the screen, look at the blade on the edge. Right here, there's kind of a little bit of rolling, and there's a couple little spots up here that have some rolling in the blade, but that was probably due to the heat treat. Who knows? It's really hard to say. It could have been anything. This could just be, I don't know. It could be a defective knife. It could be one of a million. Who knows? There's a couple little things going on here. Like one thing, if you really pinch tight on this blade, which you really shouldn't do because I'll probably slice my finger, but if you listen, there's a little bit of rattle in between the handle scales and the knife itself. And that's probably due to me beating the crap out of it today. I really put this thing through its paces. I just cleaned up this blade with a toothbrush, and it polished right up. After it was real nasty looking, but it polished right up. So I mean, it handled the work very well. And for everything I was putting it through, banging it through the knots in the tree, and just kind of general trying to mess up the knife, it did really well. I have no complaints. And if that's the only thing that is really the biggest issue with it is the little roll there, I can really sharpen that out. I'm not concerned about that. Maybe it's a deal breaker for you. You got to kind of factor that in yourself, but in the price tag, worth it to me. And with this rattle, I'm not concerned because apparently, and I'm not really familiar with Boker's warranty, but according to their website, they warranty their knives for lifetime use. So if you have, you know, defects in material or workmanship, you can send this knife in or get in contact with them, and supposedly they will completely replace it and get you a new knife or whatever the case may be. So I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that, that's just what the website says. But if that's the case, then why wouldn't you get it? I mean, if they warranty their knives lifetime, absolutely worth it, in my opinion. And comparatively to these knives, which I still absolutely love, let's scoop this up a little. These are kind of competitors to the knife, you know? Like if you're looking for bushcrafting and small 4-inch fixed blade knives, this is the market right here. I mean, there may be a couple others that fit in there with it. But like with this knife, stock, and without a Kydex sheath, you're looking at about $70 to $80. At least that's the last time I checked on Amazon. And that's really expensive. I got a steal on this one, which is the reason I bought it. And I'm going to do a video on that thing later. But that, you know, and this is a really high-end quality knife. Or not really high-end, but super quality. This one is a budget item for bushcrafters or people maybe going out for the first time and want to get a knife, a fixed blade. This is a really cool option. I think it was like $35 to $40. Awesome knife, as you can tell. I have used the crap out of this over the last year, and it has really held up well. Heat treat was good. I don't think I can ever remember rolling or chipping in the blade, so who knows? Maybe they make them a little better in old El Salvador, but I'm still not complaining because at the price of $80 and $35, now I want you to brace yourself for this. I got this knife under $40. This knife was $39.77 at my local shop. So I am completely content with the fact that the blade may have rolled a little. Non-issue for me. For what you're getting D2, which is a semi-stainless carbon steel, which is just freaking awesome. That means that it's going to be resistant more so than this one and this one to rust. Both of these two will rust before this one rusts. So you're getting this Scandi Grind D2 blade with super high-end G10 handles and red liners. You can't even get red liners in the freaking Bark River knives, which makes me mad. Some of them do, but they're going to cost you like $350. I did a review on the, what was it, the Necker version, the Necker version of the Bark River that's like $200, and they don't even have those. I mean, this is just freaking sweet for under $40. Absolutely, I will suck it up. And, you know, worst comes to worst, if this thing were to loosen up anymore, I would really just squirt some Gorilla Glue in there and go to work. Keep it as it is, because, I mean, it's a beater knife. It costs under $40. Do it. Make the purchase and check it out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed, to be honest. All of these knives you see here, they're great. They're excellent. They come with really nice materials, but like for the price here, this one's almost the same price as this one, and you're getting just like a leather sheath, and that's it. And these maple or burl wood, whatever they are, handles, you can get this super high-end one. Definitely worth the purchase. I highly suggest you go out and get one. You can check the beginning video again. This thing is a beast of a knife, and it really put in a lot of work. Really cool 90-degree spine too, so you're not going to have a lot of issues there. Check them out, guys. Later.